When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santan.
Hello and welcome to another Touchy Gooners podcast. My name is Lewis and today I'm joined by Touchy Gooners regular Seun. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
I'm good. And we've got two special guests today. Actually, I'll go as far as call you special because Dan Soft told me I had to call you special. Otherwise, like I'll get in some trouble, innit? So
don't say special too much, though, man.
I'm not really special at all, bro.
So we've got Archie. I've forgotten your Twitter name, Archie.
Oh my God, fucking hell. Archie Maddox.
Archie Maddox, that's it. How you doing, Archie?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Enjoying the lockdown. Like, just waiting until I can spit in people's faces again, man.
Is that one of your favourite pastimes, is it?
Of course, bro. I went to school near Edgware Road, man. That's what we do.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, you probably have to edit that out, but still.
No, it's right. We're a no filter podcast, so everything goes. So yeah. I mean, just let rip, basically.
Okay.
not too much. And we've got Triple J Jimmy, aka Ayodele.
Okay, we only using the Nigerian names for Seun, innit? But yeah, man.
Yeah, Seun don't understand anything else, so we have to use Ayodele in it. So.
And for government purposes, I'm going to make sure you're supported by the end of this podcast.
Oh, he's taking
Jimmy in it.
Before we start, just to let you guys know that all the club pods as well as the Touchline pods are going to be on YouTube from now on. So this one will be the first Touchy Gooners pod on YouTube. So a little congratulations and all that.
Background, man.
I tried to do the background before the pod starts, but you know it was moving a bit higgy. But so this will be on YouTube. So go and subscribe to Touchline Fracas on YouTube. We've only got like 1,500 subscribers, so you need to boost us a little bit. Don't forget to use the hashtag Touchline Fracas, and you can follow us on on Twitter as well. So last week we did a Thomas Rosicky kind of throwback episode, and we decided to go for another kind of injury-prone, stop-start kind of player this week, and we're gonna go with Theo Walcott. Now, let me. I think Theo Walcott kind of divides opinion in a bit, and I think he has the potential to be this kind of player that people look back upon quite fondly. But at the time, he was so heavily criticised. So I want to kind of see what side of the fence you guys sit on. So Archie, I'll start with you. Were you a Theo Walcott fan back in the day, or did you used to call him shit every week?
Well, first of all, I could never respect the man with the first name Theo. I could never respect him. But that being said, I liked Theo. I liked him, but he don't have the football brain. That's the thing. Like everyone used to say, and it's true. If he didn't have to think about it, I thought he was one of the best players that we had. If he had to think for a second about what he was going to do next, he turned into prime Sean Wright Phillips, man. He had no idea. And I don't know. I'm one of them camps that's firmly in the middle. On his day, he was quality. On his bad days, he was like, I would have rather had Luzhny back in the team.
Luzhny at right wing, yeah?
Yeah, I'd rather him.
What about you, Jimmy?
I believe Walcott was one of them players. Do you remember? When I moved to Milton Keynes, I went to an all-white school called Radcliffe School, a place called Wolverton in Milton Keynes. And I was the only black player.
Was it on a roundabout?
Yeah, basically.
You had a trial for Arsenal.
No. All I'm going to say is, all the gaffer used to say to me, or say to the team was, knock it over the top.
And Jimmy would chase after it.
That's Theo Walcott. It was just, he's quick, knock it over the top. He had no end product.
Now, you say that, but some of his touches, like I remember, like I think his last season, Ozil played one ball over the top for him, and his first touch to get away from the defender was so good that I was like, if you could do that every time, you would be a king.
Because it was luck. He didn't mean it.
But Jimmy,
never did it again.
You say no end product. I'm going to reel off some stats for you. 398 games, 108 goals, 78 assists. That is, he's going at 1 in 2 goal contributions per game from right wing.
Because he was wearing the number 14 shirt, bruv. None of that's not real. It's all fake.
It's
Like, I know. Okay, that stats has obviously made what I said look dumb. But he was dead. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care for stats. He was rubbish. Didn't like him. He was just fast. Like, you know what? Actually, now I liked him when he first came. He was like 16. You know what I mean? So it was like, he ain't gonna have no strength. It was like, okay, I can see the potential. But as the years went on, he didn't get any better. He was good until he was 18, and then he just sort of, boop, that was it. Like, that was it. He didn't get any better.
I do get what you're saying in terms of he started off with this ceiling that seemed to be, you know, there didn't seem to be a ceiling. We signed him and he was supposed to be this kind of like wonder kid, and
he was on Reece replacement.
Yeah, it depends.
Kind of, so to speak.
It depends how you look at it. Seun, let me bring you into the conversation. I'm expecting you to bring some balance here. So, what were you? What were your thoughts on Theo Walcott? It doesn't, from what I know of you, Seun, and I think I know you pretty well. Theo Walcott is not the kind of player that you like.
Nah, he's not drippy enough for me, man. But no. In all seriousness, yeah, I think I like Rosicky last week, where most people loved him. Walcott did polarize opinions a lot. If you look at statistically, I think he spent like between 13 and 14 seasons at Arsenal. He only had 4 where he reached double figures for goals. So I don't think that reflects well. But he had a unique skill set that could be used quite well, obviously, when he was on it. Sorry, there's bare feedback. I don't know if...
Yeah, guys, you might have to go on mute when you're not when you're not speaking, just so you don't get feedback.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I think that's better. Yeah. Yeah. So he had... So I think out of his 13, 14 seasons, he had 4 where he reached double figures in it. So I don't know what way you want to look at that. Personally, for me, that's not great. But he had a unique skill set which was used quite well. You know, when he was when he played on the right, and the utilisation was of him was like as a second goal scorer. So he used to, you know, make that run in between the centre back and the full back in behind, and that was, I think, probably like his signature sort of move. And he got quite a few goals from there. But what used to annoy me was that this guy always used to moan about being a striker. And then do you remember in the 15-16 season where Wenger finally let him play there? I was like, all right, boom, you want to be a striker, you can play there, innit? And he didn't do nothing. He did niche. Then he went back the season after. He was like, oh, do you know what? I think I'm a winger now. So he went back to crying to be a winger again. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's one of those, statistically, like you said, he looks good, but boy, I remember bare games where man used to get onto Walcott, bro. And I mean, the crowd used to get onto him. So yeah, he's one of those. I mean, overall, his contribution, do you know what I mean? Not a lot of players have scored over 100 goals for Arsenal, so you got to give him that props. But generally, as a player, it wasn't particularly for me.
You know what? I think, looking back, I think Walcott's a victim of circumstance now. Because I think if he'd have been around in that team where we had Overmars, if he was on the other side, I think we would look at him and go, do you know what, quality. Because there was 2 front men, one of them was dropping back, one of them was running behind, so the defence was stretched already. They wouldn't have been looking at Walcott because they would have been worried about Overmars or Anelka or Wright or whoever it was at the time. I think when it come to when he was first in the team with first Henry, Van Persie, then Van Persie and Adebayor, that we played a very different style. We weren't really running in behind from our strikers. There was no one, because, you know, we had little tricky players like Rosicky, Nasri, Fabregas, and then we had the 2 front boys, and he was our only pace, really. So I think that everyone just kind of dropped back on him. And had he been around at a different time, I think we would have looked at him and gone, you know what, he was a decent player. But again, if he was around now, I don't think he'd be doing nothing. So
you say that, but I feel like we're crying out for a player like Theo.
But he's not fast anymore. He's got no pace. So what
But I mean, I'm talking about when he was playing for Arsenal.
Yeah. Now I think it will be quality, because like I personally think Pepe is going to come good. I'm not worried about the.
Oh yeah, so you'll get on well with Seun then. Jimmy, are you the same? Oh, you're on mute, Jimmy. You're on mute.
Pepe's cold. I love Pepe. That's my guy. That's my guy. I love Pepe. I don't care. I don't want to hear no Pepe slander. Pepe is the one.
Lewis,
I'm outnumbered here, so
Lewis, you need to invite these guys back on more often. They know ball. They know ball.
Now, do you know what? Pepe's he's bad. He's bad. But our system at the moment,
bad being the operative
word.
Bad
as in good, man. Come on, don't try to do that to us. Like Pepe's he's gonna come good in the next 2 or 3 seasons. We ain't paid that money for him to be good first season. We paid for him to be good in years coming. That's what we paid that money for. And
sounds like a lot like Theo Walcott.
Yeah, no, but one, we didn't pay that much for him, and two, he was good for Southampton, and I think if he'd have learned how to, if Henry was there for a bit longer, I think he would have been a better player. Or if he'd have been there beforehand when there was an Ian Wright who, losing his pace, still managed to get into good areas to score. But without that kind of that leader, that steely leader, I think he was never going to do it.
Do you think that Theo? So obviously he broke through at Southampton when he was like really young, like early. Was he 15 or was
15.
he 16? It was 15, was it? Yeah. So he broke through at Southampton at a ridiculously young age, and then before he even played a minute for Arsenal, Seun was calling him up for the World Cup.
Yes, Seun fucked him with that,
and then didn't play him. Very weird, but do you think that Walcott was a victim of moving to a big club before he was ready to do so? He played 21. He played 21 games in the 23 games in the Championship for Southampton, and then all of a sudden he's bought for, how much did Arsenal get him for? Was it like 20 million or something? Or was it a little bit?
16. When is like 16 million?
15.2 or something.
Yeah,
16, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a fee of 5 million, rising to 12 million, depending on appearances for club and country. So, I mean, when you look at that, I mean, we got a fucking bargain there, considering the return that he had. But what like, just going back to my original point, do you think he's a victim of moving to a big club too soon? Like, he should have played more in Championship, maybe.
100% believe he should have stayed in the Championship for at least another season, even if we bought him and then loaned him back.
I think that probably would have happened now. Maybe that wasn't a thing back then.
Maybe, yeah, no, you're probably right, because I don't think he was ready at all. And you're right, I think the Sven-Goran Eriksson thing boosted it. I think too much pressure. I don't know what it is about Premier League or the UK media, but they will boost the man up so much, to a point where they can't handle their own pressure.
Now, I'll tell you what it is. It's because English players are shit, and we know we're shit. And then when they gas them, up so much, they're like, oh, no, I'm banging. And then you can't realise that you're shit again, and you don't know what to do. That's what's happening. I mean, personally, I think he should have been at a Championship club or even a lower Premier League club for a little bit longer. But my thing with Theo is I think he broke too soon. You break at 15 and you're known for your pace, you're going to get them, unless you've got a special diet plan and special trainer, you're going to get them little niggly injuries that are just going to ruin your career. Like, do you remember Alexander Pato at Milan?
Yeah.
He was fucking banging. He came on the scene 17 years old, faster than he'd been. He lasted, 6 years, and then no pace, and there's nothing else to his game. There's nothing else to his game.
He got a bit fat as well, didn't he, Alexander Pato?
Yeah, he did.
He turned into a little fatty. I'm just Googling that, Alexander Pato. No, yeah.
I think that's a Brazilian thing, though. I think a lot of the Brazilian players do that. Like, Ronaldinho ended up getting
hopefully not Martinelli.
Adriano. In it, do you know what I mean? Adriano was like, well, I've done my thing, innit? And then he just went straight back to the hood. I think a lot of the Brazilian players sort of get their little money, like, show people, like, yeah, I was sick, and then they just go... One
Pro Evo feature and they're done.
Yeah!
No, but in fairness to Walcott, though, like, I don't think there was ever a time, like... just talking about, like, a Brazilian thing in general, but... He always showed the utmost professionalism to me. I don't, he may have not been the most technically gifted footballer, but he never seemed like the type of player that downed tools or anything like that. I know he had a few contractual issues and shit like that, but generally speaking, I never really had an issue with Theo Walcott on the pitch, to be honest.
I think off the pitch he was a model model professional. I just don't think he didn't have the strength there. Like, look at Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale, I don't want to talk about the team that he was on, but he's gone from the same team. And boom, he's shot up. Even Chamberlain, I think he was a bigger, like at the time, Walcott was the guy, but players around him who come up at the same time progressed a lot better than he did.
I'm going to put my hands up, right? I used to run a blog, okay? And I may or may not have wrote an article comparing Bale and Walcott.
Wait, when Bale was shit or when Bale was good?
Yeah, like when, like maybe like this. It was like, I think it was like the season where. Let me check the. It was before he proper popped off.
Okay.
And let me find out when.
You're gonna find out.
I think it was like the season he scored like 11 goals or something like that. I'll try and find the blog and I'll post it. But, you know, at the same time, like Theo was, I'm trying to see, 10, 11. Yeah, like Theo was scoring more goals than Bale. And I was thinking, you know what? I'd rather have Theo. But then Bale turned into this ridiculous specimen of a footballer. And I got made to look a bit silly. But thankfully, no one has actually dragged up that blog post. Maybe because only about 5 people read it at the time.
Oh, a lot more people are going to read it. I'm going to jump on that blog right after this. I'm going to see what bullshit you was typing.
I think that went to show, though, like, at that period in time, I still had a lot, because he was only, like, 21 at the time. I think they were around similar ages. Yeah. And I still had a lot of high hopes for Walcott, because you always had this feeling that, okay, he's got that kind of killer instinct in front of goal. He's got the athleticism. All he needs is maybe a little bit, I guess at the time it was a bit naive to think that, you know, he could still improve technically. And it just doesn't work that way, does it? Once you're at a certain age, you're not going to learn how to control football better, are you? Like, really, truly. No.
I think that's one of the sad things, like, for my man, because like you mentioned, Ox and Bale, like they were both really good. They were both much better than Theo was technically as well, innit? So they were just better footballers. And it was a bit of a shame that obviously we had Walcott at 16 and he just never really, like those sort of facets, he just never really developed. Like he got loads and loads of assists in it, but he was never someone who would, his take on stats weren't great. He wasn't someone who was really going to play a sort of through ball. He had a unique selling point, and obviously he could, when he was in good form, he utilised that quite well, especially when he was trying to play for a new contract. But overall, like, yeah, man, I just think for the hype he came with, it was massively, massively underwhelming for me, man. Massively.
I mean, you say that, but how much would you give right now to get a 14-goal, 12-assist season from Nicolas Pepe at the moment?
Don't worry. The thing is about that, yeah, Walcott were in teams that were a lot more coherent at the time. Do you know what I mean? So it's easy to say, oh, boom.
But Pepe is a better footballer.
He is a better footballer. But
how many goals does Pepe have?
About 3.
He has 6, man. Shut up, bro.
I don't think Theo Walcott's ever had that back way. He did, maybe when he was about 18. When he was about 18.
No, if there are some Walcott only got double figures in 4 out of 13 seasons he was here. Don't ever come.
Wait, how many league goals has Nicolas Pepe got?
Don't worry about that. We're not talking about Pepe.
Wait. I want to see something. Right, so he's got 4 Premier League goals. Theo Walcott failed to score 4 Premier League goals on. All right, so all of them at the start of his career. So like when he was like 16, 17, 18. As soon as 2010 hit, always at least 9 a season, except for the seasons where he didn't play, where he played like 13 games and got 5 and 13, 5 and 14. But all the other times he was hitting goals.
Boy, the last season he was here, before he left, he didn't get a single Premier League goal. So boy, that's
what, in 6 games.
So boom. But why didn't he score?
How long did it take Pepe to score his first goal?
Listen. No. But the argument you're trying to make here is that in isolation, do you think Walcott is going to make own goals for himself? If we're a team that lacks any sort of creativity at the moment, is Walcott going to create that chance?
I watched the Newcastle game, mate. That Newcastle game where he just dribbled past like the whole team and then just slammed it in.
Listen, even a clock is right twice a day, man. You know what I mean? Listen, Walcott Anyway, but no. Overall,
Chelsea.
no.
That's
actually,
one
do you know
thing
what?
about Walcott.
Do you know what? Yeah,
His big game
his big
prowess
game record
was
his big game
unreal.
record. Yeah, you have to give that to him. Walcott's big game record. He used to pam Chelsea. He had quite a few against Spurs. Do you know what? Just generally, he scored in quite a few big games. So you got to give him his props. Like I said, once he knew how to use that movement in behind, very, very good, and he was a very good instinctive finisher. But it was always one of those. I think it was Archie. So when he had time, he was lacking, man. Do you know what I mean? So and that's where you questioned it. He was at Arsenal for 13, 14 seasons. You know, is he a legend? Is anyone going to call Theo Walcott a legend?
Nah.
No one's calling him a legend. Are you calling him a legend, Lewis?
No, I'm not calling him a legend, but I'm pretty certain I'm not going to call Pepe a legend either. So
Cool.
where do we go from here?
Where
do we go from here?
We'll revisit that one, innit? So, but yeah, no.
Jimmy, you're on mute. You're on mute, Jim.
Say it.
Sorry, I have to keep putting you on mute because of the feedback.
No, that's absolutely fine. I do apologise. But why are you so confident that Pepe couldn't eventually become a legend at Arsenal? He's shown glimpses of incredible skill. You can see that he's got something there. It just needs to be honed.
I mean, I wouldn't say incredible.
He scored against Man United. That was a big game. He done his thing. He set up some goals.
Had Virgil van Dijk looking like a donut. Come on, bro. Like,
Pepe's got dribble past Van Dijk in what, a year?
Archie is part of Dribble Pass VVD gang. Oh my god.
Well, I don't make up the stats. What can I say? That was one of the stats I read, so I regret it.
I don't get why you don't think Pepe.
No, listen, all jokes aside, right? I like Pepe, but I think we've been had over the sink, mate. I really do. I think we've been really done over, and for the money we paid for him anyway, I think it's scandalous. Really, it really is. Like for that kind of, for his skill set and what he's bringing to the team at the moment, I just don't think. I can't see it. I can't see it ever materialize into anything great.
All right, Ousmane Dembele at Barcelona. Do you think he's a good player?
Yes, amazing player.
All right, an amazing player. How many goals has he scored this season?
Well, when he's not playing Fortnite, he's injured, isn't he? So I don't know how many goals. I'm sure you're going to tell me how many goals. But he hasn't played.
I'm not giving you no more stats after that last comment. I'm not providing.
Yeah,
any.
I don't think he's played this season though. Has he played like 5 games?
He's played 5. I think he scored 1 or 2 goals. Right.
Yeah, but he's been injured. He's injured.
But comparison being right in his first season at Barcelona, he also scored that many goals, and they cost him what 100 and something million.
The only thing I would say is Dembele moved to Barcelona when he was like 20 years old. Pepe's a big ass man. Like Pepe is a big ass man.
First of all, he's from Ivory Coast, so they've lied about his age.
Yeah, but that's even worse. That means that he's probably like 27.
No, they done the other way. They aged him up. No, but look, Pepe's going to do good. Look at Pires when he come from Marseille or Bordeaux, wherever he come from. When
Marseille, yeah.
Was going, he's rubbish, man. Look, he's got no pace, got no skill, blah, blah, blah. And then he finally hit around, March of that year?
Oh, say that again, Archie?
He hit around March of the first year that he was here, right?
Mm.
So, by that same logic, Pepe, who's come from the same league in a much worse team as well. You've got to remember the team that Pires come into was a banger. This team is rubbish. No way around it. Our team at the moment is crap. He's come into that and he's managed to provide a spark in the game where he's played. I think give him until the middle of next season, and then if he's rubbish, then I'll say, you know what, you're right. But until that point, I think he's going to be good. I
don't think he's rubbish, and I think he's going to be a good player for us. I just think we've been done over with the price. I think, and I think for where we aspire to be, Pepe can't be our
flagship signing.
Yeah. The thing is, Lewis, you keep coming back to this price thing. We've had this price discussion bare times, bro. We've said the market is a joke, bro.
In June, we're gonna have to pay another 19 million.
Yeah, boom. But the thing is, there was you knew no one said at the time that we were buying a complete player. Do you know what I mean? So yes, we've overpaid. No one's disputed the fact that we've overpaid. Realistically, you're overpaid. Bare people are getting overpaid for. Who's worth the money they're actually going for? Do you know what I mean? So realistically, who's worth the money they're going for? Obviously, there are some deals you get that are boom, nice bargain deals. But overall, everyone's overpaying to an extent. There's that acknowledgement. But at the same time, give man time, bro. You man are bare impatient, bro. That's what I've actually deeped. You had a bare impatient, and you don't allow people to. You don't allow people to adapt. Two, you don't acknowledge the fact that boom, man's played under 3 different managers this season, bro. There's been bare upheaval in the team. There's bare holes in the team, but yet you want to hound on my man. Obviously, listen, the price tag. So there's a certain weight of expectation. And yes, I think there are certain things that he could have done better. There's certain things he can improve on. But I don't think 6-7 months into one person's Arsenal career is the time to be saying, boom, he's a busted flush or whatever. I've always said, cool, like Archie and Jimmy said, midway next season, if he's thinking at the joint, then boom, I'll change. But until then, nah.
I look forward to that moment, Sean. I really do. I look forward to that moment.
I would not want to argue against Sean in this.
Listen, he puts Pepe. He's having Pepe over his missus. I'm telling you, he's
right now I am. I spent way too much time with this girl over quarantine, bro.
Oh, listen to that busting up like, right, okay. Yeah. I'm on Pepe's side and I'm like, oh.
Let's go back to Theo anyway. Let's go back to Theo because do you think injuries ever? Well, they obviously did hamper his career to a certain extent. He still played 400 games for the club, but he was littered with injuries. He had quite a few seasons where he only played like half the season.
Sorry, I was going to say he was having. I'll give him one. He was having a sick run until he got injured against, who was it, Liverpool or Tottenham?
It was against Tottenham when he scored the hat.
Was it Tottenham?
Yeah,
and he was
we did this.
He was having a sick run.
That was when he was playing up front, right? Was that when he was playing up front?
I don't think so. I think he was a winger.
Was it a winger? I can't remember. But he was having a sick run.
Game,
I thought he was up front that game.
I can't remember, I just remember the sick run. And when he got injured, it was like, fuck. Because after that, it was a wrap.
Because that was his cruise ship, right? So that was in like 2013. Yeah. So yeah, he got injured in 2014 in Jan. In the FA, that was the FA Cup game, wasn't it? Yeah. Did we win the FA Cup that year?
Nah, we didn't. What was it, 2014? Nah, it's 15-16, wasn't it?
Oh, okay.
No. What, the year Theo done his thing? That's the year we ended our trophy drop because he didn't play in the final. Remember?
Yeah.
That 13-14 year, that 13-14 season where he got injured against Spurs in the FA Cup.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Check it. That's the year we went on.
You're right. You're right because we won it the next year against Villa, didn't we?
Yeah. So we won it that year against Hull. Next year against Villa.
And are you sure he wasn't playing up front that game?
I can't remember last week.
I can't remember.
All right, fair enough. But obviously injuries like that where he missed practically the whole of 2014, as you said, as he was on like really good goal scoring form. Let me just check so that season 13-14 he had 6 goals in 18 games, and the season before that he got 21 and 43. So he had just come off the back of his best ever season in football, and he gets his ACL and then struggles for the next few seasons. So, do you think those injuries? Do you think we would have got a different Theo Walcott had he not picked up those injuries? Because his injury list is quite long. If I'm looking at it, it wasn't always big injuries, but it was like a muscle problem here, an ankle problem here, a shoulder injury there, and he would miss like 6, 7, 8 games at a time, and it must be really disruptive to a young player's career.
Agreed. I think, like I said, I think he was that. I mean, especially that one particular season, he was on a really, really good run. And if he didn't get injured, maybe who knows what could have happened. But the fact of the matter is, he did.
Yeah,
he did get injured.
That's what I'm saying about he broke too early, man. All them kind of muscle injuries don't come if you're not playing regular football until you're like 20, 21. He was playing regular football from 17, 18. He's gonna be fucked.
Yeah, it's mad, really, because how old is Walcott now? He's he must be like, what, 31 now? 31. Jesus
30, 31, yeah. Is he 31?
Yeah, he's 31. He just turned 31. It's like he's been around forever, isn't it? Like,
I've got a question. How'd you go from having afro hair to straight hair?
Who did that?
Theo, he had straight hair the other day. He had some Scarface mop on his head. How has he gone from having... He had a proper afro when he was young. And I don't know whether he's relaxed it or what, but that's the moment when I was like, nah, Theo's not my guy.
Fam, he moved to Liverpool, bro. What do you expect?
Bro.
But
He moved up to...
he was born in, like, well, not born. I think he was born in London, but he moved to like Southampton when he was quite young. I'm thinking maybe that's got something to do with it.
You know, then he moved up north and he was like, okay, this is socially acceptable to do this up here. You're going to do that in North London, bro.
People in Liverpool, bro. There's bare. Enough of them must have gone, what you doing?
I can't talk, bro. I don't touch on anything hair related, fam.
I don't know why I'm chatting.
I think that makes 3 of us, to be honest. I'm holding on for dear life, me. Was you so when Theo eventually left Arsenal in 2018, I believe it was. Let me just check. Yeah, so he left in January 2018, and Everton came in with a 20 million offer. And at the time, I remember thinking, oh, do you know what? That's quite good business on our behalf. Like, to get 20 million from him, and he was injured quite a lot, coming towards the end of his time. And was you sad to see Theo go, or was it like, cool, let's just end this chapter now and move on? Like, was you quite glad to see him go?
I was sad to see him go. I've never rated him, but one, it made me sad that we sold him for more than we sold Thierry Henry. I was like, wow, really, 4 million more than we sold it. And secondly, it was, I think, because we've had him for so long, I kind of always wanted to see him do well. Like, I wanted to see him reach his full potential at Arsenal. And it's one of those situations where it never came. And so when he did go, it was like, okay, I expected it, but I also didn't. I don't know if I wanted it or not, but it was like, cool. We got to get rid of deadweight anyway.
I wasn't sad. I wasn't sad at all. We should have taken some players with him.
God, they took a Wolby as well, bro.
We've been eating off of Everton, to be fair.
Exactly.
I've got a few men that I think they should sign this summer as well, to be honest.
Innit? If they hadn't had Mustafi when he was young.
I know. We missed a trick there, haven't we? Fucking hell.
No, I was sad to see him go, man. But he weren't doing what he. I don't think. And have you've seen him at Everton? He just ain't got it. No,
I thought when he moved to Everton, I thought, do you know what? This is more his level kind of thing, and I thought he would probably do well for them. But yeah, he's only got like 10 goals in 79 games. But then again, he's been injured for a lot of the time he's been at Everton as well, I think. Or I might be wrong about that, actually.
But there's better players than him at Everton as well. That's it, bro.
For real.
Yeah. Oh, one second. I'm getting feedback again, lad. Sorry, I had to mute you. Yeah, no, you're right. He has got stiff competition at Everton. Where do you think? So, just going full circle and bringing it back to the team now, the Arsenal team now. Does Theo start for us in 2020? I'm getting shaken at the head. Let me unmute you guys. Sorry.
No, definitely
Nah.
not. Over man like Pepe, definitely not.
Oh, there's not one person in that team you can replace. Not one person. I can't see. I would start Saka over him forever. Like, from when he was like Saka.
Even the Theo Walcott of like 2013, yes. 2014. 100%. Okay.
Yeah. No, Saka's got it all there. The only person.
So prime Walcott doesn't start for us now.
Nah.
Okay.
Nope. Nah.
Okay.
I'd stick Saka at 18 years old over him every time.
You see, in my opinion, Lewis, you see the mistake you're making, yeah, is that when you're saying prime Theo, yeah, you got to remember who was feeding prime Theo, bro. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, he was prime Theo, but he had loads of technicians behind him. So that didn't, like, now if you plop Theo into the team, prime Theo, even if you plop him into the team, there's no technicians to feed him, bro. Do you know what I mean? So he fed off the fact that, boom, yeah, cool. Nasri and Fabregas would be linking up, and then he'd be making that run in behind, and they would feed him. Right now, cool. Even if you plot Theo in, who's there to feed him? Who's there for the link up? Do you know what I mean? So, like, when people say Theo, yeah, I think Theo was a very effective person in the right system. Do you know what I mean? But how is Theo going to be effective in this system? That's what I'm asking you. How?
I don't necessarily disagree with you, to be fair. I think you're probably right, but I think a lot of comparisons sometimes.
No, because I know where you're getting at here. So this is coming back to Pepe right now. Prime Theo is a more effective player than Pepe. I won't disagree.
I'm not even going to get to Pepe. I'm not even.
No. But I get. Put it this way: if like the team right now had loads of technicians, yeah, and loads of creative players, it would make sense to put Theo in, because all of those technicians always wanted to come to the ball. The reason Theo was such a handy outlet was that Theo was always the one who was running away from the ball. Do you know what I mean? So he was always the one stretching teams, pushing them back. So it made a lot of sense. Right now, obviously, certain other guys are still going through adaptation periods. So they're not contributing that skill set that Theo did at that specific time, innit? So yeah, I think Theo would be very effective in a team right now, which is looking for an outlet like that. But I don't think we're looking for an outlet like that right now. I think we're looking right now to build up our play again. Do you know what I mean? Because we went from being a team which had bare technicians to being a team that pretty much has no technicians now. Do you know what I mean? So we struggle to play out of pressure. We struggle to even hold on to the ball at the best of times. Do you know what I mean? So I think we have greater needs right now than a Theo Walcott personally.
What do you guys think about comparisons between Aubameyang and Walcott? And why do you think that? Because they've got quite similar skill sets, right? So like very quick, good off the ball movement, quite good instinctive finishes, and one is fantastic up front and the other one isn't. Why did it never click for Walcott up front? Was it an opportunity thing? Because like he had to wait a long time for his opportunity up front, or was it like a system thing? Or what was it? Because surely if Aubameyang can bang up front, then Walcott could as well.
Now the thing with Aubameyang is you can see if you watch him when he ain't got the ball, he's always looking around, he's always seeing where that little pocket to drop into is. Whereas if you watch Theo back in the day, my man's looking at anything except where he should be going. He just don't have
Archie
that.
proper hates Theo.
I don't hate him. I liked him, but Aubameyang is he's a proper elite striker. He's a striker. He knows where to go. He knows where to put the ball. He knows how to annoy players near him. He's always dropping into channels, pulling people out of position. Whereas Theo, if you're marking Theo, he was pretty easy to mark. You know what he's going to do. Take a step back and you can catch him.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Jimmy, what about you? I see you nodding along.
I was just saying, yeah, I was agreeing with Archie. Just said he's pretty one-dimensional. He was quite easy to read, and he was shit in the air as well. Whereas Aubameyang is quite a complete striker.
Yeah, he's added that to his game actually. Aubameyang.
Yeah, he's quite a complete striker. He's good in the air. His pace. He's not getting bullied off the ball. I don't know where these comparisons have come from. By the way, I've never heard this. By the way, Theo Walcott and Aubameyang comparison.
Maybe I've done it because they're both light skin and fast. Light skin and fast.
Apart from the light skin thing, never seen it. One of them,
and they both wear number 14.
Yeah, but one of them deserves it and the other one didn't. I don't know why we gave him to Walcott in the first place.
That was embarrassing, to be fair. I don't know why we did that.
Should have given that number 30.
I feel like that was the end of Walcott. As soon as we did that, like, I swear, did we give it to him like straight away?
Exactly. He had to follow.
It was over before it started.
Innit? And even when Henry came back, we had to give him the number 12. And even Henry scored a goal in his debut. And even he's like, come on, bro. Like, they had to bring me back because you couldn't do the job.
Adebayor could have at least carried it for a season and then be like, do you know what? I want to switch. But Theo's just a nice little humble boy from a Southampton suburb, man. He can't carry that.
Nah, he couldn't carry it, man. And I didn't know there were any comparisons. I'm still annoyed about that.
Maybe to be honest, maybe I've just made them up. Like, you know.
Aubameyang always surprises me because like, when you watch him running, he don't look that fast. He don't look like he's moving his body that quickly. Whereas Theo, you could see his legs was pumping. But Aubameyang just covers ground differently. Like, he don't look quick.
Who do you think's faster, though? Walcott or Aubameyang?
Probably Walcott.
Yeah, I'm going to go Walcott as well. I reckon Walcott's probably quicker. But Aubameyang's still fast. But Walcott was rapid. He was quick.
Yeah.
But that's all he had. In my opinion, that's all he had to his game, which is really, really fast. That's all I got from him anyway.
Okay. Well, all right. Before we finish the Walcott segment, then I want to say a few nice things about the lad. Do you know what I mean? Like we've kind of cussed him off for like last.
Got a good looking missus.
Oh, has he?
I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like she's probably like my colour.
Oh yeah,
of course, 100% white.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no debating that.
Yeah, no, 100%. I don't know. I reckon she'd be pretty fit, though, isn't it?
I would argue she's more premium white than you are, bro. I would say she's like first edition. You can't.
First edition.
Straight from Basildon.
Holy shit. This is
all right. Let me get your favourite Walcott memories, Walcott goals. I mean, obviously the one that comes to mind is obviously the 2-0 against
Spurs. Yeah.
I think one of my favourite ones was the League Cup goal against Chelsea.
First goal.
And yeah, his first goal. And I remember that quite well because I think there was like a lot of anticipation at the time about Walcott. You know, I don't think he was getting as much game time as, fans wanted. And when he scored the goal in the final, yeah, it was his only goal that season, wasn't it? I think he had like loads of substitute appearances that season. And then he scored that lovely goal in the final in Chelsea in vain, obviously, because we lost the final. But yeah, I think that was a nice moment. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that goal.
I think my favourite goal of his I can't remember. I think it was against Fenerbahce. I can't remember what year it was, but it was a little chip. And it was the first time where I looked at him and went, oh, you might be good, actually. And he never went beyond that. He never went beyond. But my favourite moment of his is different to the goal. My favourite moment was against Liverpool in the Champions League quarterfinal.
Okay.
Where he run through the whole team, went past Fabio Aurelio, Mascherano, Hippier, and then squared it to Adebayor. And I remember watching that going like, oh my God, this kid is fucking banging. And then Liverpool scored right away.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. And then Kolo Toure. This is when Kolo Toure went full AFCON and was just sort of like, just fucking fly kicking people and shit. This was post malaria Kolo Toure. And he was just like, yeah, he fucked it for us really and truly. But yeah, that was a really good game for Theo because he was on flames that game. He was on flames. I see Jimmy laughing around. Jimmy, what's your favourite moment? You're on mute, by the way.
It's a fucking post malaria. Did he have malaria?
I think so. Did Kolo have malaria? I think he got malaria like 3 times.
I didn't even know that.
I'm gonna type it in. Oh, nothing's coming up on Google. Fucking hell.
Oh,
yeah. In 2008, Kolo Toure was hospitalized after feeling unwell. Yeah, and then he got it again in 2014.
Shabbat. Fair play to them, man. I love touring back in the day.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm gonna be completely honest. I can't remember any of my favourite. Apart from when he's walking off on the stretcher, that's my most fond memory of him. Like off the top of my head, if you said, oh, you are, I'm like...
What about the Reading 4? How many goals was it at Reading? 4?
He banged 4 at Reading?
I don't think did he get 4 at Reading? I thought Cazorla got a hat-trick that game.
I remember he got 4 goals against someone. I can't remember who.
Let me type it in. Theo Walcott 4 goals. 4 goals because it does sound. No.
I remember doing it. It's Arshavin. I remember Arshavin right with you, so.
No, yeah, Arshavin got 4. Was it Arshavin and Julio Baptista? Was it?
Yeah, he got.
Baptista. Yeah, I remember my man.
So Theo never got 4 goals for us.
Not that I can see. No.
Fuck this guy.
He I remember 2 really good the goals that he scored against Newcastle. Was it the hat trick that he scored against Newcastle?
Yeah.
One little chip.
Yeah.
One
second. I put Jimmy on mute.
Sorry. Favourite memory of Walcott is that goal he scored where he dropped and then he got back up.
Against Chelsea?
I think it was against Newcastle.
No, it was against Newcastle. Yeah,
Newcastle where
he did the same against Chelsea. He did the same against Chelsea.
Is it?
He fell over and then just... Yeah.
He got up and he just dinked it, and I thought, you know what? He kept going. Most man would have just stayed on the floor. Ankle, but he got up like what?
He did a few
and
of them.
he kept going. I thought, you know what? Fair play to the
He was
boy.
very
That
quick
would be
of
my
getting up off of the floor. He gets off the floor quicker than Amir Khan does. Like he's very
Yeah, he does.
he's very quick of getting off the floor and getting up and just like everyone thinks it's a foul and Theo Walcott's just playing on. Oh, wait, play on, ref.
For that, I'll give him his props. But even when I was watching it, I was going, well, okay.
He scored at least 20 goals doing that.
Just like that, yeah. Just yeah. Nah, that'll be I think it's a goal against Newcastle where he's twined a couple man, got back up and still went.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it twine, but like more of like just following the ball wherever the ball ricochets, he goes, sort of thing.
Fair enough.
What about you, Sean?
My favourite Walcott goal was just like one of those times, where you just saw that proper explosion of his like raw pace in it. So I don't know if you remember when I think we played, we'd already qualified from the group stage in it, but we played Shakhtar away in the Champions League, and we were defending a corner, and then Wilshire's just cleared it, and like you seen Walcott has just used his burners. He's just absolutely. Do you remember? Like Wilshire's played like a 60-yard ball over the top.
Yeah.
You don't remember? You guys remember, innit? He's played the ball over the top for Walcott. He's chased it down, and he's literally first time finish. He's curled it around the keeper. It's such a good goal. Do you not remember?
I remember.
You remember? Do you not remember?
I'm trying to.
League.
Did we lose the game?
Yeah, we lost it because we had already qualified. It didn't matter anyway.
Oh,
do you remember?
Yeah, I think this was because Douglas Costa played this game, innit?
It was in that 10-11 season where we were quite good. That season actually Walcott was decent because he had Fabregas, Nasri, Wilshere. He had bare man around him that season, innit? So all he had to do was just continue making the runs. And we were defending a corner, and then Wilshire's like cleared it upfield for him, and like basically because all their man are up front in it, so he's just left 1-on-1 with one defender in it, and obviously boom, he's burnt the defender for pace, and then like he's not even. I don't remember if he took a touch, but the way he curled it around the keeper, it was so nice. It was such a sweet finish. And I was like, I said, all right, Theo, that's the sort of thing I want to see. But obviously we didn't see it enough of that sort of goal. But
I'm watching it now. Yeah, I'm watching it now. Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah, from a corner, and
you see how he used the pace in it.
Yeah, I remember this game because J. Emmanuel Thomas came on at the end. And he's told me a story about how he got put at right back and he had to mark Douglas Costa. And he said like it was the maddest thing he's ever experienced in his life. Like Douglas Costa was just giving him the steps. But yeah, I remember this game now. Yeah, I remember this game. It was a sick goal. All right, cool. Let's do some listeners' questions before we wrap things up then. I'll just do a few. I'll try and make them diverse. Right, so I've got one from Count Dracula. He says, due to the pandemic, if there are no cup games for next season, would you send the younger players out on loan for experience or keep them around and use them as bench options, considering there are 5 subs instead of 3 available? You mute, Jimmy. You're on mute.
So I just said that's a good question.
Okay.
I guess it depends on which players, really, innit? I mean, like Mill Smith-Rowe, I think needs another season out on loan.
Okay. You wouldn't have him involved in the first team next season?
I think he's a good talent, but not yet. I don't know. Maybe I've not seen enough of him.
What youngsters have you got stocks in?
Saka. That's my guy, you know.
Just Saka.
I love that guy, bro. Saka's cold. Oh, I'm just trying to think of the top of my head now.
Don't sleep on Nelson, you know. I think Nelson.
Reece Nelson, sorry, Reece Nelson.
Oh my God, you and Sean you lot are just Sean's best mates right now.
Well, you don't think
they need to be on every week. These are my people, then, bro.
This is.
Well, you don't rate Reece Nelson now?
No.
Lewis has said that Reece Nelson is a League One winger.
Yeah, man.
I said what? Wait. I said what?
Really,
bro, Lewis, don't try and backtrack now.
Wait, I didn't hear what you said. I'm not backtracking.
You said Reece Nelson is a League One winger. That's what you said.
He is at the moment. He ain't a fucking Premier League winger, is he?
Nah, you're taking a piss, bro.
Oh, I'm more man in my team than Dan James any day.
Dan James has got goals this season, mate.
Yeah, so is Reece Nelson, man.
Nah, man.
Wait, what the fuck is going on?
I just Reece Nelson is a pretty player. Like, he's nice, but other than that, what?
Nah.
Like, I'm waiting. Basically, lads. This is your cue to tell me what Reece Nelson is. Like, he looks good. He looks like he should be a sick player. But besides having the sick boots, the nice haircut, and like just generally looking like he's good at football, what is he actually good at?
Bro, how can you look good like you're good at football? And
Oh, you know the players that look good at
you're
football.
good at football and not.
Yeah, you can.
Thing, man. You can't look good in the Premier League and not be good.
You can, trust me. You know those players that, you know, they got the full kit, the sick boots.
Nah.
That was basically a Iwobi. Where's Iwobi now?
Iwobi was a good player. Iwobi was a good footballer.
How are you going to say Iwobi is better than Nelson? I'm never doing this podcast again.
What? At least, wait. So you actually think Iwobi's Nelson's better than Iwobi?
I think Nelson definitely will be better than Iwobi. I'm not at the same age. Iwobi wasn't doing nothing at the same age. He was
doing more than Iwobi. He was doing more than Nelson.
Nelson's gonna come too. Trust me. Nelson's got it, man. He's quite quick. I like Ainsley, Maitland-Niles. We don't know what position he's meant to be playing in yet.
Too much ganja, I would say.
You think he's bunning weed?
Yeah, too much bunning weed.
You think he's bunning weed?
100%.
Yeah, sorry, lads. I'm with Lewis on this one, bro.
I think he's not bad. He's okay.
I like him. I like Ainsley. As long as he plays right back and stops smoking weed, I'm happy. Yeah.
Do you know what? Technically, he's nice, innit? But sometimes he's bare slow in the brain. Like, he just takes certain things like he should be doing quickly, innit? But he just takes bare long to do it. Like, and obviously, I don't know. It seems like, because when Arteta first came, he was playing, but now Arteta ain't picking him no more at all, boy. So it seems like there's attitude or professional.
Tell him to Bournemouth.
I'll give him that.
Yeah.
I reckon he would do well at a team like Bournemouth, one of them teams, I reckon. What about Nketiah? I want him to stay. I wouldn't want to see him go out on loan.
I think we should sell him.
But I don't think he's our best prospect up front. There's a young boy called Balogun.
Yeah. He looks
good.
Yeah.
Balogun.
Balogun.
Yeah, he's cold. I've seen a couple of under 23 games or whatever. I've seen a couple of them games. He's doing this thing. There's a few of them, but I still think a few of them still need, like, we don't want a Walcott situation again. So I think a couple of them, a little loan spell would be good for a few of them.
So, so going back to the question, would you guys send the younger players out on loan or keep them around next season? So say someone like Reece Nelson. What is the plans for Reece Nelson next season?
I think keep him. Keep Reece Nelson. You need a little backup to go around, because he used to be an attacking midfielder as well when he was younger. So you never know. He might be able to debutise for Ozil. I would say send a few out and keep a few. I think keep Emile Smith-Rowe. I think he's good, man. I think he's got a good shot of doing well. I would send out who's the other striker that we got? Not Nketiah, not Balogun. What's the other one called?
Martinelli.
No. Keep Martinelli for sure. No, Tyrese, whatever his name is.
Oh, Tyrese John Jules.
Yeah. Send him out on loan.
Yeah, definitely send him on loan, yeah.
Send out some of the younger boys further back. But I think them lot, keep them, get rid of some of the dead wood that we don't need.
Okay. Jimmy, are you keeping Reece at this club, or you're on mute, lad? You're on mute.
Fucking hell, bro.
Fucking Zoom, mate. Take the piss. I reckon one more season out on loan. I reckon if we're trying to chase top 4, I don't really want to see too many of the young youths on the pitch. I don't want to see too many man experiment. We're trying to go for gold, bruv. And them man we're not ready yet.
So put him out on loan, yeah?
One season. Let him come back. Couple like a season up at Stoke and that. Let man get beat up a bit. Hit Jim and that. And he will come back, weighing everyone in. That's what I want.
Okay. Sean, what about you?
Boy, I mean, at the moment, a lot just obviously depends on the financial situation in it. So in my mind, I would send Willock on loan. because I want to sign. I'd prioritize signing a centre back and 2 centre mids. That's where I feel like we need to improve technically, and we need to get some more PMP in the team, because the team is there. There's not enough athleticism, especially in the middle, in it. So another centre back, and then a centre mid who can run about and do a lot, and then a more creative one as well. So yeah, so for me, Willock, I'm not a big fan of Willock. I know that's your guy, Lewis, but yeah, I'm
He's
telling
not
him
my
to,
guy. He's not my
that's
guy.
your
He's
no,
not my
Lewis,
guy.
Lewis, don't lie, bro.
I just think he's a decent player.
No, that's your guy, bro. But own it, man. Own
And
it.
unlike the other youngsters that you guys have mentioned, he actually does shit on the pitch. Like,
What?
he actually does something.
No. That's the claim your guy in it. So I'll send Willock on loan. It's hard to say, because obviously we don't know what our financial situation is going to be like. So I think a lot depends on that. I think what will happen is that by all the noise that I've heard so far, it sounds like Arteta wants to prioritise a centre back and centre mid first. I think he might end up keeping the young attackers, especially if we're forced to sell like an Aubameyang or whatever in it. You know what I mean? So yeah.
What do you guys make of this David Luiz situation? Because apparently he's out of contract.
Nah,
Let him go. Let him go, bro.
Nah. He's done a decent in.
Nah, let him go, man. He's too old, bro. How can he be our best defender? Don't make no sense. He's like 35.
Yeah, but remember, we've got Saliba coming in next season. You have experienced David Luiz next to him.
We've got my man, the Greek don, Mavropanos or whatever his name is.
No,
he's decent.
No. He's Greek. He's Greek. Greece haven't been good since 2004.
I'm going back on mute, bruv.
So what do you think about the Luiz situation?
Yeah, it's a bit weird for me, because I thought when we signed him in the summer, it was a 2-year deal with an option of a third. So I was saying this earlier on today, is that I think, like, obviously early on with Emery, I thought he was absolutely horrific in it. But since Arteta's come in, like, I think he's been a lot better in it. And you've seen what I like is obviously the ability to play out from the back in it. So we need that. And as an experienced option, I much prefer him to Socrates. So I would keep him above Socrates. I would, because the rumor was that we're going to get, because we got best centre backs. We got like 7 centre backs. I don't know why we have so many centre backs, and half of them, pretty much, they're all rubbish, apart from Saliba coming in it. But I would keep Luiz for the experience and for his ability to play out from the back in it. So I would keep him. But it's weird. It's weird because at the moment, all the journalists are saying that it was only a 1-year deal with the option of another in it. And obviously he's probably on over 100 grand in it, Luiz, I'm imagining. So
and the rest.
Yeah, and the rest. Yeah. So if they're looking to save, he's probably a candidate to go. But yeah, so they'll probably look to try and get rid of the ones who are close to the end or at the end of their deals in it. So, but obviously if he goes, we got to get someone else in it. Do you know what I mean? I know Saliba's coming back, but we'll probably try and buy that Pablo Mari in it. I don't really like him, bro. I don't really like him. Pablo, do you man like Pablo Mari?
I don't know yet. I ain't seen him enough. What I've seen of him, I've gone, you've done. Who did he play against? Portsmouth? I was like,
yeah, Portsmouth and 1 Premier League game. I think it was a Newcastle game, I think. Yeah.
I was like, okay, you've done all right, but I don't know. He can play out better than anyone bar Lewis at the moment. So, I think he's all right, but I wouldn't splash 9 mil on him. I'd rather get that Dynasty dude from one of the French teams.
Are we not going to go for I can't say his name, you know.
I mean, Carlo.
Yeah.
Because the amount of letters in his name is the amount of zeros we have to put on at the end of it. So that's why we're not getting him in it. So.
This one, trust me, I don't think we've got the facilities to buy that one, bro.
Even pre-coronavirus, it was looking a bit peak.
It was.
Yeah. All right. Let me do a few more questions then. So this is a Theo Walcott related question. It's from I Am Mr. Lex. He asked, was the bar set too high for Walcott for his time at Arsenal? And looking back at his career, has he actually achieved more than he gets credit for? So if we're actually looking at ability compared to like performance, I would say Theo Walcott's actually outdone himself, because he's not technically great at all, but I think when you look at it on an overall picture, he's probably done better than his ability would suggest. Archie's not having it.
Bro, remember we won the league with Pascal Sagan.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So, I don't buy that argument at all.
Okay.
I as much as I'm not a Theo Walcott fan, I feel like considering how much I don't rate him as a baller, I think he has done quite well considering that. I mean, especially looking at him now at Everton, he's dog shit. So considering that, all the stuff that he done for us, I can't. He did have a few standout games and he scored a few crucial goals and whatever else. So actually, yeah, I don't know. He was meant to be world class though. You know when he signed to play on Football Manager and it's like, oh, potential world class. He never reached that.
No, he didn't. But that's not his fault. Like, it's not his fault. Football Manager made him predicted to be world class.
No, it's his fault. It's his fault. It's his fault.
It's his fault for being so good at 16.
Yeah, it's his fault for like doing whatever he did at 16, innit?
How dare he? How dare he?
He tricked us, bro. I'm weak.
Sean, what about you?
Yeah, I think it's just the way he was hyped in it. His ability was vastly like overplayed in it. So they made him seem so much more than what he actually was. And because of his raw pace, I just think people thought that when he harnesses this pace, he's going to be like a demon in it. But he was never really a demon. He was all right, and he was an effective player when used correctly. But at the same time, you got to give my man props in it, because how many man can say they scored over 100 goals for Arsenal in it? So that in itself is a relative achievement in it. So, but relative to the hype around him at the time, no, I don't think he met it. But he had a good career. He'll look back and say, boom, I played for Arsenal, scored over 100 goals, won a couple trophies. So, well, fair play to him, innit?
All right, I've got another. This might be quite a shameless question actually. It's from Mr. K Giamphi. He asks, it's Kwaku, isn't it? That's King Quacks, my Ghanaian brother. He asks, who is a better player at 22, Rashford or Walcott?
I'm gonna say Theo. Just for pants. I'm gonna go with Theo.
I'm telling you, if you put Walcott on pens, yeah, he would have more goals than Rashford has this season. Like, let's face it, like Rashford's not exactly, he's had a good season this season, but hasn't he scored like 8 pens or something this season? So
Dan, you want to do this? Yeah, this is what you want to do.
Listen, I'm just giving you the stats as they are.
Give it to Rashford, man. Come on, man. Let's be honest, man.
I think Rashford's definitely the better player.
I'm saying to get Rashford. Come on, man. You got, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You got. Call it spade, isn't it?
Rashford's the better player, but I still feel like Theo's got. I don't know, just that hunger for goals that I wish Rashford would have, because I don't want him to do well for Man United. But just if I was looking at it as a neutral, I wish Marcus Rashford would have that thirst for goals that Walcott did. Sean, what about you? 22, Walcott or Rashford? And where's Sean gone?
Yeah. I don't know why you're being shameless, bro. You know it's Rashford, innit? So stop this, bro.
I think it's like, quite close.
No, Lewis, stop it, bro. You know Rashford is better. So I don't know why.
Let's compare. Right, 22. Right. So,
no, man. Rashford is a better footballer. You 22. And I both know this, bro.
At 22, yeah. All right, no, he was 23 in that season. All right. Well, at 23, Walcott got 14 goals and 12 assists. That was that season.
Okay. So what? I'm still. That's not going to deter me. Like,
I'm just saying, no pens. No pens.
He's more skillful. He's quick. He's good in the air.
I agree. No, bang free kicks. He takes 80 free kicks a season and bangs them into the stands. If you're talking about banging, then maybe that's what you mean.
That free kick Rashford scored against Chelsea this season, Walcott, he would never ever have that in his locker, bro. So let's continue. Let's move that on, bro. Let's move that on.
Let me do one last question then before we wrap things up. This is from Fola FIFO, he asks, will behind closed door games help us away from home? Because I feel like we get out-passioned a lot. I don't know what that means.
It might, you know, it might. Still play the game. It might against the bigger team for sure, or against one of them little roughhouses like West. It might be a much better game.
That makes us sound like some pussies, you know. Nah, bro. Look, no, they're making too much noise.
We're the biggest team of facios the league has seen in a while, man.
No, I don't like that question.
I would say though that it might help us at home, but then, like, weirdly enough, despite how toxic the Emirates is, we still have quite a good. Actually, I don't know how good our home record is this season, but even last season under Emery, our home record was quite good, and it was pretty toxic still. So I don't know. I don't know. Away from home, I don't know. I don't really. How's it affected it in the Bundesliga?
I was just about to say it's been a massive difference. You know, away teams have been pamming. I think before this round of fixtures, there'd only been like 3 home wins, and boy, like, and it affected Dortmund against Bayern. Them passion merchants, bro. They couldn't do niche, bro. When there was no crowd singing, bro. No yellow wall, bro. They got panned in it. So I don't know. I don't know if it's an actual factor, but they were saying I was reading an article. They were saying the away teams have benefited more from no crowds so far in the Bundesliga. So I don't know if that will be the same in the Prem, but yeah. Well, we can't legislate for being a shit team, so you know what I mean. There's only so much we can do.
Passion Merchants is fucking amazing. I've never heard that one before. I don't know where I've been, bro, but I've never heard.
You never heard of Passion Merchant before?
I've never heard of the Passion Merchants, but now I see it. I'm going, well, yeah, that's exactly what they all the fuck you all that shit. Yeah, no, you're right. That's funny as fuck. I've never heard of that.
All right. Yeah. Well, on that note, we'll call it a day then. Archie and Jimmy, it's been great having you guys on. Do you want to give yourselves a shout out? Where can people find you? Your Twitters, no Instagrams because we don't do all that fop shit. So just
love you guys, man. I appreciate you lot. Sean, you've been a bad boy. Archie, I'll see you. Rob, if they want to find me, they'll find me, innit?
Well, yeah, they can find you because I'll put your name in the bio. So yeah, your name will be in the bio. Mate.
Yeah, they can find me, man.
I'm sure
they want me. They'll come looking.
I would say follow me, but I ain't got fuck all to say. It's not that nothing's going on. I ain't making no content.
But they could tune into one of your Zoom gigs that you were telling me about.
No.
I don't want no one there.
I don't want no one.
You don't want another person silently laughing, no? Okay.
If no one turns up, I still get paid. So I'm like, don't come and let me just take the money in it. I'll do it to myself and have more fun.
This has been dope though, man. I mean, it's been nice to be a part of this.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure to have you guys on. Guys, just make sure to use the hashtag TouchlineFracas, anything podcast related. Also, if you've enjoyed the podcast, you can obviously take a look at it on YouTube as well. All the podcasts, both all the club podcasts and the Touchline main podcasts are all on YouTube now as well. So yeah, get subscribing, and we'll be back next week. Actually, we got I won't say too much. All right, cool. We'll be back next week. Anyway, guys, take it easy.
Take it easy, man.
Cheers, guys.
When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santan.